Hello, welcome to Parkland's inaugural Actors Studio Series production, Dear Brutus. My name is BJ Gailey. I had the honor of directing this production. As Dear Brutus was originally a 3-act play that we've cut down to right around 40 minutes, some background information might be necessary. This show is about 5 friends who are invited to a country manor, where it is rumored a magical wood will suddenly appear surrounding the house on midsummer. Like all magical woods, this one grants wishes. And all of these 5 people are unified by the fact that they desperately long for a second chance in their life. The Purdy's, Jack and Mabel, have a marriage that is slowly breaking. Mabel Purdy, when she goes into the wood, wishes that she and her husband would have the passion and closeness they once did. Whereas Joanna Trout, the other woman, wishes that she and Jack Purdy had met long before Mabel entered the picture, so they could be married. Jack Purdy never feels that he is given the opportunity to show his true potential, and so his dearest wish when he goes into the wood is to know himself, who he is and who he could be. If the Purdy's marriage is breaking, Will and Alice Dearth have a shattered one. Will gave up on his career as a painter long ago and has retreated into a brandy bottle. Alice, feeling that she has been given up on by her husband, wishes only for freedom. Will wishes for a child, so that he might remember what it is to love and be loved in return. The wood grants all these wishes, but with a twist. In order to keep their new lives, they must remain in the wood. The minute they return to the waking world, their second chances are gone forever. I hope you enjoy our inaugural production in the Actors Studio Series. This is the work of 10 days' labor by these young actors, all of whom are Parkland students, and I'm extremely proud of what they're about to show you. So without further ado, J.M. Barrie's Dear Brutus.
We must not waste a second. Our minds are made up, I think.
Now is the time.
Yes, now, if at all. But should we?
Well, Mrs. Dearth is doing it.
Of course I am. The men are not coming, are they?
No, it seems your husband's having another glass of brandy.
Sure he is. One of you ring, please.
Ah, love. I wish this telegram sent.
Very good, ma'am. The village post office closed at 8. But, if your note is good enough.
Oh, it is very important. Please make it out. Please read it aloud.
Ma'am, to police station Great Comney. Send officer first thing tomorrow morning to arrest Law Butler for theft of rings.
Yes, that is quite right.
Ma'am, my lady.
Should we not say how many rings?
Yes, put in the number of rings, love.
May I telegram now, ma'am?
Certainly not.
It is deeply regretted.
I'm sure it is.
We may as well tell him now that it's not our rings we're worrying about. They've simply been a means to an end, love.
Precisely. In other words, that telegram is sent unless...
Unless you can tell us what peculiarity that all of us women have in common.
Not just the women. All the guests in this house.
We have been here a week, and we still don't know why we are here. But thankfully to your master, we have found that we have something in common.
But he won't say what that is.
I don't know what you mean, ladies.
Oh, yes. We do.
You must admit your master is a very strange person.
He is a little odd, ma'am.
He is so odd that it has gotten on my nerves that we are invited here for some sort of horrid experiment. You look as if you thought so too.
Oh, no, miss. You shouldn't have come. You didn't ought to have come.
What do you mean by that now, man?
Nothing, my lady.
Tell me this. Did he specifically ask you all for Midsummer Week?
Yes.
He would.
What do you mean?
He always likes them to be here on Midsummer Night, ma'am.
Them? Whom?
Them who have that in common.
Well, I do believe it is Midsummer Eve.
It is. The villagers know it. They are inside their houses tonight, with the doors barred.
Because of him.
Yes, he frightens them. There are stories.
What alarms them? Tell us, or...
I know nothing for certain, ma'am. He has wanted me to, but I wouldn't do it.
Do what?
Please don't ask me, ma'am. Please, be merciful to me. I was not brought up bad naturally. It is touch and go how the poor are raised up in this world. Believe me. Now, if you trust me, I can give you a tip that's worth it.
The men are rising.
Very well, Lob, if the tip is good enough.
It's this. I would not go out tonight if I were you. It is not safe out there. The garden should be all right. You can go out to the garden if you like, but I would go no farther.
Shall I?
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you sure you have told us all that you know, Lob?
Yes. Actually, I would not go out into the wood tonight if I were you.
Wood? Why, there's no wood within a dozen miles of here.
No, ma'am, but all the less, I would not go if I were you. Not tonight.
Excuse me, Lob.
Is my husband still sampling the brandy, Mr. Purdy?
You know, I do believe he is. Do the ladies like our proposal, Lob?
I have not told them of it yet.
What do you propose?
Presently, dear, if you are agreeable, we are all going out for a walk.
The garden is all right.
Ah, but it is not to be the garden. We are going further afield to find a mysterious wood.
Are you being funny, Mr. Purdy? You know for sure that there aren't trees for miles for here. You said so yourself. It's just a blot in the landscape.
On ordinary occasions, but allow us to point out to you, Miss Joanna, that this is Midsummer Eve. It is all nonsense, of course, but just foolish talk of the villagers. They say that on Midsummer Eve there's a strange wood in this part of the country.
Where? Doesn't sound safe.
That is one of its most jarring features. It is never twice in the same place, apparently. It's absurd, of course, but a walk will do us all good nonetheless. You've an adventure for tonight. Get the shoes and a wrap, Mrs. Durham. All of you.
Jack, if Mabel were to suspect...
There is nothing for her to suspect.
No, there isn't, is there? Jack, am I doing anything wrong?
You?
Well, Mabel is your wife, and I should so hate myself if I were to do anything to be disloyal to her.
No, I love you all the more, dear, for saying that, but Mabel is a cold nature and she doesn't understand. Of course, I am difficult. I always was a strange, strange creature. Well, I often think, Joanna, that I'm rather like a flower that has never had the sun to shine on and nor the rain to water.
You break my heart.
It is the thought of you that sustains me, elevates me. You shine high above me like a star.
No, no. I wish I was wonderful, but I'm not.
You may be a better man, Joanna.
I'm very sorry to interrupt, Jack, but please, wait a moment before you kiss her again. I didn't want the others to see. They might not understand. You're so noble, Jack. Please, continue. I was in the garden. I was looking for something I have lost. I used to fancy it, Jack. It is my husband's love. Perhaps you've picked it up, Joanna. If so, and you don't hold great store by it, I'd like it back. The pieces, I mean.
I must be open with you now, Mabel. If you wish it, I shall always be true to you in word and deed. It is your right, but I I cannot pretend that Joanna is not the woman of the world for me. If I met her before you, it's good, I suppose.
And I suppose you never knew what true love was like until you met her, Jack.
You forced me to say it. Joanna and I are as one person. We have not a thought of variance. We are one rather than two.
I'm so sorry to have marred your lives.
It's all spoilt now, Jack. She's taken the innocence out of it.
You must be brave and not mind her. Joanna, if only we had time. If only I could begin again. To be battered forever just because I once took the wrong turning, it isn't fair.
The wrong turning. Now, who was saying that a moment ago? About himself? Why, it was love.
Is that her coming back again? Oh. It is you, Mrs. Durr.
Yes, it is. Thank you for telling me, Mr. Purdy. I don't intrude, do I?
Why should you?
Yes, rather not. We were hoping it would be you. We want to start on the walk, and I can't think what has become of the others. Oh, we've been looking everywhere for them.
Well, do go on looking. Next to that cake, I suppose. No, it's my husband I'm in search of.
Shall I write them out for you?
How too unutterably kind of you, Mr. Purdy. It'd be the kind of service one never forgets.
You know, I believe you are chaffing me.
No, I'm incapable of that.
I won't be a moment.
Don't worry, Mr. Purdy. Joanne and I will be longing for you. Yes, I dare say I am.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought I heard you say that horrible dearth woman butting in where she is not wanted.
You certainly have good ears.
No, well, they've always been rather admired.
Oh, I am uncommonly flattered you'd sit for me, Alice. Oh, it quite takes me aback.
It's not your company I want, Will.
No? You know, I felt it was Purdy that delivered the message wrongly then.
Well, I want you to come out with us on this mysterious walk to keep an eye on Lob.
On poor little Lob? Oh, surely not.
I can't make the man out. Tell me this. Did he specifically ask for you or me when he invited us here?
Oh, you. He made no bones about it. Said there was something that you made him want uncommonly to have you down here.
Well, I want you to come out with us to keep an eye on him.
To spy on my host. Such a harmless little chap, too. Excuse me, Alice. Besides, I have an engagement.
An engagement? With the brandy decanter, I presume.
A good guess, but wrong. The decanter is now but an empty shell. But how you know me is with the quiet cigar in the garden.
Oh, but your hand is so unsteady, Will. You won't be able to light the match.
I shall just manage.
Nice hand for an artist.
One would sincerely call me an artist nowadays.
Not so far as any work is concerned.
Not as far as any more pretty dreams to paint is concerned. You wonder why I've become such a waster, Alice?
I suppose it was always in you.
Oh, I suppose so. And yet, I was rather good in sort of the days when I was courting you.
Yes, I thought so. Unlucky days for me, as it has turned out.
Yes. A bad job for you. I didn't know it was wrong until the time. I thought quite well of myself, and thought of the vast more deal of you. How I used to leap out of bed at 6 a.m. in the morning, all I got to my ease, oh yes. Blood ran through my veins in those days. And now I'm middle-aged and done for. It's funny. I don't know how it came about. No one has made the music went mute. When did you really begin to despise me, Alice?
A long time ago, Will. when I really got to know you.
Ah, yes, that is true. A long time ago. Before I began to despise myself. It wasn't until I knew you had no opinion for me. That's when I started to go downhill. And you will grant that, won't you? Yeah. I'll let you know I did try to fight on. If you had still cared for me, it wouldn't have come to this, surely.
Well, I find I didn't care for you. And I wasn't a hypocrite enough to pretend that I did. That's blunt. But you used to admire my bluntness.
The bluntness in you, the adorable wildness in you, you untamed thing. There are never any shades in you. Kiss or kill was your motto, Alice. And I knew from the very first moment I met you, I knew you would love me or knife me.
I didn't knife you.
No, and I suppose that's where you made the mistake. It's hard on you, old lady. Perhaps if we did have children.
A blessing, I should think, seeing what kind of father they would have had.
I dare say you're right. And somehow it's all my fault. My word, I'm sorry for you.
I'm sorry for myself. What a different woman I would have been if I hadn't married you. What a fool I was.
The three things they say that do not come back to men nor women, it's a spoken word. The past life. And it's the neglected opportunity.
Here they are. Are you ready, dear lady?
Are you not coming to find the wood with us, Mr. Dirk?
Oh, alas, I am the unavoidable detained. Oh, Alice, you'll find me in the garden when you come back.
If we ever do come back.
Oh, well, I'm for the garden then. Oh. What is it that we get in that wood log?
They say that in the wood you find what almost everyone here is longing for. A second chance.
And anyone ready to risk it? Well, I'll be back in a moment. Probably.
Mabel?
Now you have to go, Mr. Purdy.
Not another step. Don't you go, Mrs. Dirth, or you'll catch it.
A second chance.
Oh, I wonder, sir, if you've happened to see my husband. I lost him here in the wood, and I don't know if he's looking for me, and he may not be alone, and there may be a young lady with him.
I can't say if I have, but if I do, what name shall I say?
Purdy. I'm Mrs. Purdy.
Oh, I'll try to keep a lookout.
I'm sorry, sir. I see him now.
No, and no, and no, I don't know you nearly well enough for that. Besides, what would your wife say? I should begin to think you're a very dreadful man, Mr. Purdy.
Surely my coming Jack by this time.
Perhaps if you're very good, Jack.
If only Joanna were more like you.
Like me. You mean her face? Well, if it's not precisely pretty, it's a good face. I don't mind her face at all. In fact, I'm so glad you have such a dependable little wife, Jack.
Thanks.
What would Joanna have said if she'd seen us just now?
Why should be incapable of jealousy?
Joanna jealous. But has she any reason? Tell me, Jack, who is the mystery woman?
Shall I, Mabel? Shall I?
I can't seem to think who she is. Tell me, have I ever seen her?
Every time you look in a mirror.
What was it you saw in me that made you love me?
I think it was the feeling that you were so much like myself.
You notice that, Jack? Sometimes it almost terrifies me.
We think the same thoughts. We are not two, Mabel. We are one.
If it could be, Jack. Too late. Forever, never, never forever. They're the two saddest words in the English tongue. Dad! Dad! Haha! I have won! Here's the place.
Now that's the tree I suddenly used on last night.
The moon is rather pale tonight, isn't she?
Oh, it comes with keeping light hours. Oh, and you shouldn't be out here so late. You should be tucked up in your cozy bed at home.
I can't fall asleep when the moon's at the full. She keeps calling me to get up. Oh, perhaps I'm her daughter too.
Oh, possibly.
Then can't you paint me into the picture as well as Mama? You could call it a mother and a daughter. Or simply two ladies, if the moon thinks that calling me her daughter would make her seem too old. Daddy, I'm frightened. I think they want to take you away from me.
Who, Gosling?
I don't know. It's too lovely. I won't be able to keep hold of it.
What is?
The world. Everything. And you, Dad, most of all. Things that are too beautiful can't last.
Now, how did you find that out?
I don't know. Dad, am I sometimes stranger than other people's daughters?
More of a madcap's, perhaps.
What does a might have been?
I might have been.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they are ghosts, Margaret. I might have been a great swell of a painter. Or I might have been this uncommonly happy nobody. Or instead I could have been this worthless, idle waster of a fellow.
You?
You know, who knows? Someone will put me off on the wrong road. Gosh. And that poor soul, that it could have been me. I have had no Margaret. My word, I'm sorry for her.
So am I. The poor old dad wandering about the world without me?
And there are other might have beens. Oh, lovely, tangible. Shades, Margaret. They're just made of sad folks' thoughts.
I am so glad I am not a shade. How awful it would be, Dad, to wake up and find one wasn't alive.
Oh, it would, dear.
Wouldn't it be awful? I think men need daughters.
Oh, they do.
Especially artists.
Oh, especially artists.
Fame is not everything.
Fame is wrought, and daughters are the thing.
Daughters are the thing.
Where did I put my matches, dear?
Top pocket waistcoat. Oh, good evening.
Good evening, Missy.
Evening, mister.
Have you lost anything?
Well, sometimes when the tourists have had their sandwiches, there are bits left over. And they squeeze them between the roots to keep the place tidy. I'm looking for bits.
Oh gosh, you don't tell me you're hungry as that.
Try me. You have a flask.
No, I don't take anything for myself. Let me see. Oh, I do have $1. No.
And I have a quarter.
That's very kind of you, but I'm richer now than I have ever been before in my life.
Oh, it's nothing. I'm sure you would have done the same for us.
I wish I was assured.
Oh, of course you would. We're just glad to be of any help. Get some victuals as quickly as you can. Best of wishes and may your luck change.
Same to you. And viewers, go on.
Good night.
What is her name, mister?
Margaret.
Margaret. You drew something good out of the bag and you got her, mister.
Yes.
Take care of her. They're easily lost.
Poor soul. I expected she had a rough life, and that some man is to blame for it. You know, that woman rather affects me, Margaret, and I don't know why. You know, what could we do for a woman that's just passed right now? I just can't get her out of my head.
Dad, I didn't like it.
Didn't like what, dear?
I didn't like her saying that about her losing me.
Oh, I shan't lose you.
I know it would be hard for me if you lost me, but it would be worse for you. I don't know how I know that, but I do know it. What would you do without me?
You shouldn't talk like that, dear, okay? That poor woman, I will no longer paint tonight, okay?
Let's get out of the wood. It frightens me.
And you loved it a moment ago. I had noticed there was a house there.
Daddy, I feel sure there wasn't a house there.
It is. We're just so used to letting the world hang, just so interested in ourselves that we don't. Now I see what I ought to do.
Let's get out of the wood.
Yes, but my idea first, okay? I will rouse to the people, get food for the poor woman.
She is too far away now.
Oh, I can overtake her.
Don't go into that house, Daddy! I don't know why it is, but I am afraid of that house.
Hey, there will be a kiss for each moment until I come back. I'll be back before you can count 100.
Daddy, come back. I don't want to be a might have been.
A pretty little room. I wonder who the owner is.
It doesn't matter. The great thing is we have escaped Joanna. May I say, this is just a little too much, Joanna.
So, sweet husband, your soul's still walking alone, is it? Sneaking about in this way, Joanna, have you no pride? Please to address me as Mrs. Purdy, madam.
I'm feeling very funny. What have you tapped me just now in the forehead?
I believe I've been in this room before.
No, there's something coming rushing back to me.
I recognize this decanter set. If I do, the lid on the decanter's chipped. It is. My head is going round. I remember, we were here. We went. Lob's Wood?
So we did. But how could we have... Which one of you is my wife?
I am. No, I'm not. It's Mabel who is your wife. Me.
Yes, of course you are, Mabel.
I believe I am.
No, and yeah, how can it be? I was running away with you.
You don't need to do that now.
No, yes, no, I see the whole thing. I believe I'm just a philanderer.
It is what you are.
I didn't know. Just a philanderer? And if people don't change, then I suppose we shall begin all over again now.
I dare say, but not with each other. I may philander again, but not with you.
It would have taught me one thing at any rate.
What, Jack?
That it is an accident that shapes our lives.
No, it's fate.
No, it's not fate, Joanna. Fate is something outside us. What really plays the dickens with us is something in ourselves. Something that makes us go on doing the same sort of fool things however many chances we get.
Something in ourselves.
Something we were born with.
Can we cut the beastly thing out?
Depends, I expect, on how long we've pampered him. We can at least try to control him if we do so hard enough, but I have, for the moment, an abominably clear perception that the likes of me never really tries. Forgive me, Joanna. No, Mabel. Both of you. It isn't very pleasant to discover that one is a bastard. I suppose I shall get used to it.
I may be willing to remind you of this moment in the future, but that is entirely up to you if I do so or not.
I can understand that. I do feel small. My whole being is corroded. Shakespeare knew what he was talking about. It isn't the fault, dear Brutus, in the stars, but the fault, dear Brutus, in our stars is the fault, dear Brutus, is not in the stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings.
Meaning we have the power to shape ourselves.
We have the power right enough.
So long as we try, I suppose. But some of us just, we don't have the strength to try.
I suppose for those who have the grit in them, yes. But I'm afraid there's not much fight left in me. If you catch me at it again, please have the goodness to whisper to me in passing lots of words, and that may cure me for the time being.
I will, so long as I care to try.
The others. We forgot about the others.
Yes, what about them? Have they changed?
I didn't see any of them in the wood.
What if we did see them and we didn't know? We should be here when they come back and they start to wake up, or whatever it is we did.
Yes, no, I distinctly hear someone in the garden. Yeah, Mrs. Durr.
I was afraid such an unceremonious entry might startle you. I got lost in the woods, okay? And then I normally come through our house at the front door. Just stupid of me. Ma'am.
We are so anxious to know whether you met a friend of ours in the wood, a Mr. Durr. Perhaps you know him too?
Durr. I don't know him, Durr. I dare say that is the man I gave my sandwiches to. He has a daughter, too. Just a pretty girl. I think I gave her a quarter.
Was the man you speak of rather chapfallen?
No. He was very attractive. Very quaint.
Did he say anything about his wife?
No,
Yes.
he did.
Please do remember if you mentioned her.
I'm so sorry to bounce you on this way, but really I do have an excuse. So here's the situation. My daughter and I have just met in the wood, and we saw this poor woman. She famishing for the want of food, and just we were happy as Greeks ourselves until we saw this distress of this poor woman. It rather cut us up. Now, do you have anything I could give to her? Why are you looking so startled? May I have this? I feel like I can't be mistaken. It was you I met in the wood.
Have you come back for the sandwiches that I gave you?
Your dress. You were in rags when I saw you outside.
I don't understand. I seem to know you, do I?
Yes, you do. Here, take my hand and you'll soon remember all about it.
I'm sorry it's going to be a lot harder for you than it is for the rest of us, Mr. Burke.
Yes, I wish I could help you, but I can't. I'm a rotter.
We're so incredibly sorry, but do you remember Midsummer's Eve?
Yeah, Midsummer Eve. Yeah. There's this room. Yeah. Was it you? You were going out looking for something. It was a tree of knowledge, wasn't it? Somebody wanted me to go. Who was that? It was a lady, I think. Why did she ask me if I wanted to go?
Something about a second chance.
Some lady who didn't like me. Yeah, and she had good reasons too. God, what were they? I am not the man I thought myself.
Who am I?
You were that lady.
It is you.
It's you, Will, it's you.
I didn't know it was you when I met in the woods with Margaret. Margaret.
Will,
Oh my God, Margaret.
I wish. You bastard!
No! Our lonely, friendly host, Slob. I thank thee for that hour.
Have you noticed his shaky hand has returned?
Yes, knows one of you guys come back as well.
And yet they are both nice people.
You're all quite nice people.
It's getting late. We should go to bed. Hold on to bed, I suppose.
Breakfast is quite ready.
My watch has stopped.
And mine just as well, perhaps.
Well, there's a smell of coffee. Come on, dear Mabel. I hope you haven't been tiring your foot.
I'll give it a good rest tomorrow, dear.
I have given your eggs 6 minutes, ma'am.
Strange experiment, Lob. Does it ever have any permanent effects?
So far as I've seen, miss, not often. But I believe once in a while. He could tell you.